Hello guys, welcome back to a new session. In this session, we will be solving few questions about the chapter 6. This sheet of question, it was my midterm exam with the students in grade 12. Guys, the first question stated that when the concentration of Mg and phosphate is lower than the Ksp, if the concentration of the ions lower than the Ksp, that means the Ip is lower than the Ksp. Ip is lower than the Ksp. The question stated this statement and said the neutralization reaction is in between H3PO4 with MgOH by 2, which will produce Mg3PO4 by 2 plus H2O. In order to know whether a precipitate will form, this will be a precipitate or not, magnesium phosphate, we have to decide based on the given statement or condition. Said when the Ip is lower than the Ksp, we have this statement, the salt will not be a precipitate and it will be soluble. Let us write the overall ionic equation, H3O positive plus PO4 negative 3 plus Mg positive 2 plus OH negative will produce, this is aqueous based on the given information. So we dissociated Mg positive 2 plus PO4 negative 3 plus H2O. Guys, if it's the set, what are the spectator ions in this equation or in this reaction? The spectator ion is the requirement. Spectator ion, as you can see, Mg and phosphate, they appear in both sides without being undergoes through a reaction. So the Mg and phosphate, they become the spectator, but the hydroxide and hydronium, they react to form the H2O in a neutralization reaction. So the correct answer for this question is B. B is the correct answer because the B is the correct answer. Sorry guys, B is the correct answer. Why it's not? Yeah, B is the correct answer for the first question because of giving the statement. Let us talk about solve the second question, guys. The second question. He stated that the second, for a reaction that the following gaseous reaction, we have SO2 plus oxygen form SO3 with 198 kilojoules, which is exothermic, reached equilibrium at 600 Celsius. At which of the following temperature the value of equilibrium constant is highest? Based on the given reaction, the reaction is exothermic. Why? Because the energy is written in the product. If it's exothermic, that means delta H is negative. And the question stated that in which of the following temperature the K is highest? Highest K must be forward. The reaction must go forward due to temperature. And we said previously, if the sign of enthalpy and temperature, they are the same, equal, so the reaction favors or shifts toward the forward direction. If they are opposite, favors toward the reverse. In this case, the temperature must be reduced in order to let the reaction to be forward, shift forward, and then K results the highest value. K results the highest value. So you have to choose the least temperature, because the temperature must be negative and the least must be chosen. So C is the correct answer, which lets the highest K for the reaction. The third question, in which of the following increase in pressure does not change the concentration of reactant and product, or we can say does not shift the reaction or equilibrium position? The first one, guys, here we have got 4 mole of the gas, there 2 mole, it changes, changing pressure. 3 mole of gas, there 2 mole, it changes. 3 mole of gases, 2 mole, it changes, shifts equilibrium. But here we have got 2 moles of gases and 2 moles of gases in the product. D is the correct answer, which the increase in pressure and volume does not shift the reaction. Solubility of calcium hydroxide is exothermic. Okay, that means the delta H is negative. Solubility will increase. Guys, the solubility, the salt, the calcium hydroxide, isn't it? Calcium hydroxide, yeah. It's not the salt, it's a base, strong base. Ca positive 2 plus 2OH negative. So this reaction is delta H is negative. Solubility, that means dissolve and dissociate to form the ions, forward direction. So which of the following will let the reaction to be more favorite? The temperature must be least. At low temperature the reaction goes forward, and then it lets the base to dissolve more. So the correct answer is B, which is at low temperature, solubility of the calcium hydroxide increase. Let us solve, so at low temperature, the solubility of the calcium hydroxide increase. The precipitation occurs if the ion product concentration is IP. Ion product concentration means IP or QSP, we can use it as well. Guys, for this, the IP, if a precipitation occurs, IP must be higher than the KSP. IP must be higher than the KSP. So if IP less than KSP, no. More than KSP, yes, B is correct. Equals to KSP, no. Is present at animal ion, no. So B is the correct answer. Let us solve for the coming questions, guys. I'll be solving the coming questions. Let us solve question number 6. Set, okay. Set SO3, SO2 and oxygen are taken in a 5-liter flask. Equilibrium constant K is found to be 50 for the reaction. Let me write those. The volume is 5 liter. The K is 50. The reaction is given. Said if concentration of both SO2 and SO3 are equal at equilibrium, calculate the number of mole of oxygen at equilibrium. Mole of O2 is the requirement, guys. Let us write the equation for the equilibrium constant. K equals product. What do we have in the product? SO3 to the power of 2 over the reactants oxygen and SO2. SO2 to the power of 2 and oxygen to the power of 1. In order to find the mole of oxygen, the mole equals molarity multiply the volume. Volume is given 5 liters, but we don't know the molarity. Let us find the molarity and then we will be able to calculate the mole of oxygen. But as you can see, the value of SO3 and SO2 are not given, but the statement said they are equal. So you can put any value but equal, 1, 2, 3, half, but they should be equal. Suppose concentration of SO3 and SO2 both are equal, set is 1 molar. You can say half, you can say 2, 3, any number, but should be equal. Concentration of the oxygen equals the concentration of SO3 square over K multiply SO2 square. 1 over 50 multiply 1, we can say it's 1 over 50. This is what? The concentration of the oxygen. 1 over 50 is the concentration. Multiplied by 5, you get what? The mole. Mole equals 1 over 50 multiplied by 5, you'll get the mole. Let me solve it, how much it will be. It's equals 0.1. So the correct answer is D. 0.1 is the mole of oxygen. Let us solve question 7, guys. Which of the following change will favor the formation of more HI in the given reaction? Formation of more HI, that means forward. Which of the following shifts forward? Because HI is in the product, the forward must be shifted in order to form more HI. Increasing pressure, 2 moles in the reactant, 2 moles in the product, pressure does not shift equilibrium. Decreasing pressure does not shift equilibrium. By adding more HI, by adding more H2 and I2. Guys, these two, they are both increasing HI. But in terms of shifting equilibrium, to go forward, the D is the best to be chosen. Because by adding the reactant, shift is forward and let the HI to be increased. That's the D is the best answer. Otherwise, C also increase the concentration of HI. If sodium acetate is added to acetic acid solution, which of the following will occur? This is about the buffer, common ion effect. Let me solve this question, which is about the common ion. We have used we added a salt into the acid solution, the weak acid. What's the salt? Sodium acetate, CS3, COONA, added to what? To the acetic acid, CS3, COOH. Guys, the acetic acid will produce, by ionization of course, H2O, will produce CS3, COO negative plus hydronium, and then the CS3, COONA will produce CS3, COO negative plus Na. Let us This is the common ion. Let us discuss what will happen. Hydronium concentration increase? No. When we add this to the above, it increases the concentration of acetate. As increase the concentration of acetate, reverse favorite. As reverse favorite, hydronium reduce. So A is the incorrect. A is incorrect. Reduces ionization. If reverse favorite reduces the ionization, yes, B is correct. pH decreases, hydronium decrease. pH elevates, C is incorrect. Concentration of the weak acid decreases, no, increases, because for reverse favorite it produces more acetic acid, but it reduces the ionization. So B is the correct answer, which reduces the ionization. Let us solve for the coming questions. Which of the following hydrolysis and increase hydroxide? Increasing hydroxide, we have got two types of hydrolysis, cation and anion. The anion, like A negative plus H2O, will produce what? AHA plus hydroxide. The above, like HB, produce the with H2O positive, will produce B plus hydronium. The cation, which is increase the hydronium, but anion increases the hydroxide. In this case, which one increase the hydroxide? You have to choose the ion which obtained from the weak acids, an ion from the weak acids. So B is the correct answer, which is F negative, undergo through hydrolysis and increase hydroxide. The coming question said, which of the following range of the soluble salt? The range of the soluble salt, guys, you know that it's given in the book, is if the salt is above 1 gram per solute dissolved in 100 gram of the water, it becomes a what? It becomes a soluble. So A is the correct answer. Question 11, which of the following does not undergo through hydrolysis? The salts are given, guys. The neutral salts, they do not undergo through hydrolysis. How to know which one is neutral salt? The salt that a cation comes from the strong base and an ion from a strong acid. KF, guys, undergo through hydrolysis because the F, an ion, comes from the weak. NaCN, CN as well, undergo through anion hydrolysis. NH4F undergo both through hydrolysis. LiBr does not undergo through hydrolysis because Li obtained from LiOH and Br from HBr. So it does not undergo through hydrolysis. D is the correct answer. Which of the following statement is true about the diprotic? Which of the following is true about the diprotics, guys? The diprotic acids, they have got two steps of ionization. For example, H2SO4 plus H2O will produce hydronium plus HSO4 negative. HSO4 negative plus H2O will produce hydronium and SO4 negative 2. This can be strong or weak. Always, guys, the first step of ionization, the acids, they are stronger than the following steps. So the H2SO4 in the first step will produce more hydronium than the HSO4 in the Cumming steps. That's why always the Ka value of the first step, Ka, constant ionization of the acid, in the first step becomes higher than the next step, the second and the third step. This can be applied for strong and weaks as well. H3PO4 is stronger than H2PO4 negative, stronger than SPO4 negative 2, stronger than PO4 negative 3 in terms of acidity. Therefore, let us answer the question. Ka of the first step higher than the Ka of the second step? Yes, this is true. Ka of the first step lower than Ka of the second? No. Ka of both steps are equal? No. Ka cannot be determined for diaprotic? No, can be determined. But every step has its own Ka, and the Ka of the first step is higher than the Ka of the second step. So the true answer, the correct option is A. A is the correct option. Which of the following represent equation of anion hydrolysis, guys? Anion hydrolysis, an anion reacts with water to produce a weak acid with the hydroxide. A negative with H2O produce HA and hydroxide. C is the correct answer. Basic solutions are generally formed by hydrolysis of anions of salt of which of the following? Basic salt, like for example KF, they undergo through anion hydrolysis. The anion, of course, undergo through hydrolysis. It can react with H2O to produce HF plus hydroxide, formed by hydrolysis of anions of salt of which of the following? Of course, the strong base and weak acid. Weak acid and strong base. B is the correct answer. Reaction tend to run to completion if a gaseous product forms and escapes. Yes, this is true. A product in the same phase as the reactant? No, we do not have such condition for completion. One product is highly ionized? No. One product is highly soluble? No, we do not have such condition. So A is the correct option. The following endothermic reaction is allowed to reach equilibrium. The reaction is given carbon plus H2O forms CO2 and CO and H2. Which one increase the production of the carbon monoxide? Carbon monoxide, which is CO. Guys, the reaction, in order to increase the concentration of carbon monoxide, should shift toward the product side. So which of the following shifts the reaction toward the product or forward? Lowering the temperature, this is endothermic, that means delta H is positive. Lowering temperature is negative. They're opposite, so let's the reaction to go reverse. Incorrect. A is incorrect. Addition of hydrogen gas. Hydrogen if added in the product lets the reaction to shift toward the reactant. Incorrect. Addition of carbon. Guys, you may guess carbon is a reactant and we added carbon, but you have to notice it's solid. So addition of carbon does not shift the equilibrium shifting. Addition of water vapor, yes, water vapor is in the reactant. H2O gas can be added and then increase the concentration of the CO2 by shifting toward the product side. So D is the correct answer. Let us solve more questions. An equation is given, H2 plus I2 to form 2HI. The K is equal to 60. What's the equilibrium constant for the reaction shown? The reaction is HI goes to form 1 over 2 H2 and 1 over 2 I2. This is the reaction in the reaction, guys. The reaction both reverse it and divided by 2. Reverse it and divided by 2. For the reverse, we have to say it's 1 over k forward, which is 60. And for the division by 2, this k power to 1 over 2, because it powers to one of the factor, 1 over 2. So let me solve this, calculate it. 1 over 60 to the power of 0.5 equals 0.129, almost 0.13. So B is the correct answer, guys. The B is the correct answer for this question. The question 18 also is calculation. Let us calculate the ion product for mixing 100 grams 0.0. Let me solve it in this side. The equation, which is 100 milliliter of what? Of 0.003 molarity CaCl2. The other one is 100 milliliter as well, 0.002 molar Na2CO3. When we add these two into another container, the third, we will produce CaCO3 plus NaCl. NaCl is soluble, so the one that we have to find the IP for is CaCO3. CaCO3, guys, produce Ca positive 2 plus CO3 negative. How to find? Here the volume of the third is equal to 100 plus 100, 200. V3 is given. V1, M1, V2, M2 are given. By using the MV1, MV3, we can calculate Ca, which is in both first and third. And by using the MV2, MV3, we can calculate for the CO3. Let me solve for the Ca, guys. MV1 100 multiply 0.003 divide by 200 equals concentration of Ca. It's what? Is equal to 1.5 10 to the power minus 3. This is concentration of Ca. For concentration of CO3, the same strategy, but MV2, MV3, 100, which is V2, 0.002, which is M2, over 200, which is V3, equals, let me calculate it, guys. 100 multiply 0.002 divide by 200, results are 110 to the power minus 3. This is the concentration of CO3 negative 2. Concentration of CO3 and Ca are given. Let us calculate the IP for the equation for this reaction. Let me erase this in order to calculate the IP, because the IP is required. IP is equal to concentration of Ca multiply concentration of CO3. Ca is what? 1.5 10 to the power minus 3 multiply 1 10 to the power minus 3 for CO3. This multiplied by 1 10 to the power minus 1.5 10 to the power minus 3 is equal to 1.5 10 to the power minus 6. This is the IP, guys. What's the KSP? KSP is given 1.4 10 to the power minus 8. 1.4 10 to the power minus 8. IP is higher than the KSP. Minus 6 is higher than minus 8. So there will be a precipitate. 1.5 10 to the power minus 6, and yes, a precipitate will fall. The common questions. Question 19. What's the relationship between K and Ka? K and Ka can be related to each other, guys, from the constant ionization of the weak acids or acids in general, related to the equilibrium constant. K is the equilibrium constant. Ka is the constant ionization of the weak acids. Refer back, the K is equal to hydronium multiply the negative ion, an ion, over the concentration of the weak acid and multiply by H2O. Take the H2O to other side, which is constant. K multiply H2O equals hydronium multiply an ion over weak acid concentration is Ka. So equals Ka. This is the relationship between K and Ka. So which one is correct? Ka is equal to K multiply H2O, which is C is the correct answer, guys. Which of the following combinations produce a buffer solution? A buffer solution can be formed between the weak acids with the strong base, strong acids with the weak base, when the weak concentration is higher than the strong. Another form of buffer, regardless to the amount, can be formed between the weak acid, weak base with their salt. But here we have got 0.2 HF with cesium hydroxide, equal amount, they cannot form buffer. HCN with HNO3, guys, the weak is higher than the strong, but both they are acids, so they cannot form buffer. The weak must be acid, the strong base, or the weak base, the strong acid. C, the same, they are both bases. So none of them, D is the correct answer, none of them is a buffer solution. Another question, guys, for this part. Said hemoglobin Hb plus oxygen formed HbO2 by 4. What happens to the equilibrium if a person moves to a higher altitude region? In the higher altitude region with low oxygen partial pressure. Guys, from the question, the equation, it's related to the shift in equilibrium. When the oxygen reduces the partial pressure, that means its concentration reduces. As the concentration of oxygen reduces, the reaction shifts toward the reactant side, and then it shifts left, yes. Shifts right, no. Shifts, no shifts, incorrect. Shifts left only by temperature increases, no. A is the correct answer. Let us solve the last question, guys, which is about it's almost the ministerial exam question. The question stated that we have two solutions. The first solution, 25 milliliter of 5 10 to the power minus 5 PbNO3 is given. Pb NO3 by 2. The second solution, 25 milliliter of 4 10 to the power minus 5 molar Na2SO4 is given. The Pb sulfate will be the insoluble one, the sparingly soluble. PbSO4 will produce Pb positive 2 plus SO4 negative 2. IP is equal to the Pb positive 2 multiply SO4 negative 2. The question asks for the net ionic equation, guys. The net ionic equation is we have to first calculate the IP compared with the KSP. If the IP higher than the KSP, there will be a net ionic equation, and the N-soluble salt will be, the sparingly soluble will be the net ionic equation. If there will the IP lower than the KSP, there will not be a precipitate and no net ionic equation. Let us solve for each of those. The first, second, and when we combine them, they will form 50 milliliter, the third. In order to calculate the PB, we have to take the relation between first and third. So 25 multiply 5 10 to the power minus 5 over 50. Let me calculate it, guys. 25 multiply 5 10 to the power minus 5 over 50 equals 2.5 10 to the power minus 5. This is the concentration of Pb positive 2. How about for sulfate? Take the relation between the second and the third. 25 multiply 4 10 to the power minus 5 over 50 is equal to 2 10 to the power minus 5. This is the concentration of SO4 negative 2. We have to multiply these two to get the IP. IP is equal to 2.5 10 to the power minus 5 multiply 2 10 to the power minus 5. Is equal to 5 10 to the power minus 10 5 10 to the power minus 10. The KSP is minus 8. KSP is 1.6 10 to the power minus 8. Minus 8 is higher than minus 10. That's why the KSP is higher than IP. There will not be a precipitate. None is the correct answer. There will not be a net ionic equation. That's all about the questions in the midterm which we have solved. Thank you for the attention, guys.